Okay, let's just rip the band-aid off. Apple absolutely played us. I mean, masterclass, textbook manipulation. If we just pull our heads out of the sand for 2 seconds and look at the actual supply chain leaks coming out of Asia, we really should have seen this coming. This new drop is going to entirely nuke your current desk setup. It's going to wreck your end-of-year budget. And it's going to fundamentally change how you look at Tim Cook's smiling face. Because a 32-inch, space black, M4 Max-powered iMac Pro is officially happening. The damage? Roughly $4,000. I know exactly what your brain is doing right now. $4,000 for a computer? But that number alone is the biggest tell. It shows exactly how deadly serious Cupertino is about snatching back the premium, all-in-one market. So before you panic buy a Mac Studio, or max out your credit card on another ridiculously overpriced external monitor, you need to hear this. The hardware move you make in the next 6 months is either going to be a genius brain play, or the most hilariously expensive mistake you make all year. Look, we all know how the tech treadmill works. But Apple just pulled off the slowest, most calculated psychological burn in tech history. For 5 straight years, they looked us right in our tired, screen-strained eyes and told us modular was the future. Buy the Mac Studio, they said. Grab the Studio display. Oh, and don't forget the $300 Thunderbolt dock, because you're definitely going to need more ports. So what did millions of us do? We nodded, drove to the mall, and dropped $2,000 on a metal brick. Then we dropped another $2,000 on a monitor that didn't even come with a stand. We literally had to pay extra just to prop the thing up on our desks. And what was the result? Our clean, aesthetic, minimalist workspaces turned into an absolute nightmare. My desk right now looks like a corporate IT closet from 1998. Cable spaghetti everywhere. Power bricks so heavy they could be used as doorstops. And dongles. So many dongles, just breeding in the dark overnight behind my monitor. The American dream of a clean, single cable setup died the day we bought into the modular marketing hype. But here is the dirty little secret Apple never publicly admitted. The Pro all-in-one was never actually dead. It wasn't tossed in the dumpster out back with the touch bar and the butterfly keyboard. It was just sitting in a locked lab in Cupertino, waiting for physics to finally catch up. Specifically, waiting for the M4 Max chip. You see, without that exact level of next-gen thermal efficiency, building a massive professional all-in-one without melting the screen was scientifically impossible. If they had pushed it out earlier, the thing would have thermal throttled the second you opened a heavy project. The internal fans would have sounded like a Boeing 747 taking off in your home office. It would have completely ruined the entire Apple Silicon is magic reputation they spent billions building. So, they just waited. They happily sold us Mac Studios, watched our bank accounts drain with a massive smile, and quietly engineered the actual dream machine they always intended to make. So let's talk about the leaked specs, because this is where the raw nerd stats actually get exciting. According to the absolute heaviest hitters in the supply chain, guys like Mark Gurman and Ross Young, this new iMac Pro isn't just a stretched-out version of that cute, pastel 24-inch iMac your mom has in the kitchen. This is a completely different animal. A 32-inch, unapologetically thick, space black slab of aluminum that screams, "I do real work," the second you unbox it. The screen is the whole reason you buy this thing. We are talking a massive 32-inch mini LED panel equipped with a buttery 120Hz promotion refresh rate. And choosing mini LED over OLED is actually a massive brain win for heavy professional use. Look, OLED is stunning. But the burn-in paranoia is a real, terrifying psychological concern. If you're a video editor leaving a Premiere timeline open, or a coder staring at a static interface for 12 hours a day, OLED is basically a ticking time bomb. Nobody wants the ghost of their Final Cut timeline permanently etched into a $4,000 monitor. Mini LED gives you crazy peak brightness for HDR, killer color accuracy, and zero anxiety. Plus, jumping to a 32-inch canvas? That's the difference between working out of a cramped dark closet and having a luxury corner office. It literally rewires your brain when you sit down to grind. Under the hood, we have the M5 Max. We already saw what this chip did in the latest MacBook Pro, making Windows PC builders genuinely sweat through their shirts. 18-core CPU. A ridiculous 40-core GPU. Over 600 gigs a second of memory bandwidth, pushing up to 128 gigs of unified memory. These aren't just puffed-up marketing numbers meant to sell laptops. This is legitimate, sustained, all-day workstation power. And sustained is the absolute magic word here. In a laptop chassis, even the best chip in the world eventually hits a thermal wall. It gets hot, the system throttles, and your render times fall off a cliff. But in a thick, purpose-built 32-inch desktop chassis with actual airflow? The M5 Max can just stretch its legs and run at max clock speeds all day. No annoying throttling. No fan noise. Unless you are simultaneously rendering 8K video, training a heavy local AI model, and running a virtual machine all at the exact same time, you won't hear a thing. This extra breathing room is exactly why the chassis is thicker. It's not just a cool aesthetic choice so you look like a tech ninja. It's a literal calculated engineering solution. Connectivity-wise, the fresh leaks point straight to Thunderbolt 5 built right in. 120 gigabits per second of bidirectional bandwidth. If you run massive external RAID enclosures or ultra-high-speed NVMe arrays, this is huge. Throw in Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6, and you are completely, 100% future-proofed for the next half-decade. Alright, let's talk about the price analysis, because this is where highly informed buying decisions get made. $4,000. Yeah, hearing that number hurts the soul and the wallet. But this is where Apple math actually starts to look like a remarkably intelligent financial investment. Think about the alternative modular setup they've been pushing. A base Mac Studio with an Ultra chip started at around $4,000 all by itself. Add a pro-level external display, and you are realistically kissing another $2,000 goodbye. You're easily $6,000 deep before you even buy a single extra power cable or a required Thunderbolt hub. And after spending all that massive amount of money, your desk still looks like an absolute disaster zone. For exactly $4,000, you get the M5 Max, a gorgeous 32-inch 120Hz display, one single clean power cable, and a desk that actually looks pristine. It's arguably a vastly superior deal. You're getting the best of both worlds, and your workspace finally looks like it belongs in this modern decade. The absolute only scenario where the Mac Studio argument still holds water is if you genuinely need the strict ability to swap out displays independently, or you run the absolute heaviest workloads known to man that require the massive Ultra chip. For everyone else, the all-in-one approach simply delivers way more bang for your buck, significantly more desk real estate, and a dramatically better daily mental experience. And don't think Apple's timing is an accident here. They know exactly how to play the giant corporate game of chess. Millions of enterprise users who proudly got those M1 laptops and desktops back in 2021 are sitting right at the very end of their standard hardware lease cycles right now in 2026. Apple is dropping this massive upgrade with sniper-like precision to intercept that wave of corporate upgrades before IT departments even think about switching to cheaper Windows alternatives. It is a brilliant, cold-blooded corporate capture strategy disguised as a fun consumer product launch. So, here is the final definitive verdict. Do you bite the bullet now, or do you impatiently wait? If you are sitting there right now trying to export video on an older Intel Mac, an M1, or even an M2 generation machine, the answer is totally unambiguous. Wait. Keep your credit card firmly locked in your wallet, and do not spend a single solitary dollar on a new setup until Apple officially drops this space black machine. The massive performance gap between your aging hardware and a brand new M5 Max system completely justifies your temporary patience. Now, if you already dropped serious cash on an M3 or M4 Mac Studio, and your daily workflow is running perfectly smoothly, the decision is definitely a little more nuanced. Sure, the aesthetic of that clean 32-inch screen is going to totally mess with your psychology and make you want to spend money. But from a pure speed perspective, if raw power isn't a daily bottleneck for your business right now, simply waiting one more generation is a perfectly rational strategy. However, if you are a hardworking professional, and your primary daily frustration is dealing with annoying desk clutter, frustrating cable management, or just the sheer visual limitation of a tiny screen, then this unbelievable new machine is highly likely to be the most sensible premium tech investment you will make in all of 2026. Apple absolutely played the long game here. They happily got us to buy the metal boxes, the separate screens, and all the annoying extra cables. They bagged all that sweet revenue. And now, they're finally giving us the exact dream machine we actually wanted 5 years ago, because the silicon technology finally made it possible without a single engineering compromise. That is either absolute genius level product strategy, or the most incredibly expensive psychology patience test in consumer tech history. Honestly, it's probably a little bit of both. Either way, the legendary iMac Pro is finally back, and this time, it seriously looks like it was worth the wait.